Hey everyone, if you recall, last week or the week before, I tried pork belly bites because I had a movie night date with friends and I wanted to make sure that I had a good snack so I wouldn't be tempted by popcorn or anything else we used to have years ago. So I have another pork belly here. It's frozen, it's defrosting. But what I'm really making this video about is really, I don't know if it's my stubbornness or my determinedness. Ooh, say that 3 times fast. But I am determined, yes, determined for making an air fryer version of a crispy pork belly where the skin, leaving the skin on, and crisping it up so much that it actually melts in your mouth. I have been able to do it in an oven, so I don't know why I'm not able to do it or can't do it in an air fryer, so I am determined. So I did a little bit of research. One thing is putting vinegar, dabbing vinegar on the skin to dry it out before cooking it. So I will do that and salting it up. But I got something today at the door delivered and I want to share it with you. And here it is. An Amazon delivery. It's always an exciting time in the jungle when a successful Amazon delivery happens. So it's a meat hammer, but one side is a tenderizer. I guess they both could be tenderizers, but the other side is spikes. So I'm just opening this now. I had to just cut this tape. So you're basically unboxing it with me. And this is it. I am so excited to use this. So basically when I hammer it down onto the skin, it will cause this to recede and we'll get some spikes coming out. So that will help aerate the skin and get the heat underneath the skin and help it pop. So I'm really excited to try this. So if you're interested in knowing, because I'm determined, remember, to make a crispy, mouth-watering, melt in your mouth pork belly bite where literally the skin just dissolves in your mouth, then stay tuned, because I will not post this video until I succeed. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. For those of you new to the channel, my name's Brenda and this is Carne and Beyond, where I not only share my experience with the carnivore diet, but what I have changed in the carnivore diet in order to be successful with it while recovering from stage 4 adrenal insufficiency. And I share some recipes, share a little bit about my life in Mexico, and a lot of other things, so stay tuned. So today we're going to continue on with the saga of the pork belly. I got another 3-pound pork belly and I'm just going to start drying it off a little bit. If you recall the one I did a couple of weeks ago, I am determined to get it right because I do love pork belly when it's done perfectly. It just literally melts in your mouth, is a crispy delight. So I will definitely continue trying to perfect this until I get it right. And like I said, I'm not going to post this video unless it has turned out brilliant. So it's about 3 pounds pork belly. Dry the skin. The other thing, I was doing a little bit of research. It's important to use some vinegar on the skin. So I have vinegar in the spray bottle. It's one of the most important cleaners, disinfectors, and window cleaners in Mexico. With the amount of lime that we have in the water, calcium, it's really important to use vinegar on everything. It's a miracle liquid for sure. So I have been letting this skin air dry in the fridge overnight. And I just sprayed a little bit of vinegar on it. I'm now patting it dry again. I'm going to let this sit again for about an hour in the fridge and just allow it to dry up again. I have a lot of humidity in my climate too, so I believe that's what the difference might be. But 3 things that I figured out are most important is keeping the skin dry throughout the whole cooking process, using vinegar and salt to help draw that moisture out, and then also this tool to prick the skin. So this will, as I hammer the meat, it will go into the meat through the skin, but not completely through the skin. These are really sharp, but the skin is so tough on this pork belly that it will not pierce the skin into the fat portion or fat layer. And that's a good thing because we don't want that fat to start bubbling up while it's cooking, because then it'll make the skin moist again. We need to keep the skin dry. So I'm just going to start right now pricking a few holes in it before the skin dries out too much in the fridge. And it'll just be easier to get some holes in now. So it's kind of like a search and rescue team. I'm just going to systematically, row by row, back and forth, poke some holes in the skin until my arm gets completely exhausted. The more holes, the better. If we can have 1,000,000 holes in here, we'll have 1,000,000 opportunities for air pockets to fill up and get crispy and juicy and mouth-watering once it's all done. The other thing I like about this hammer is that actually you can see it's leveling out the surface more. So when it's cooking, the surface towards the distance between the surface of the skin and the element will be pretty consistent, which then allows, I just realized, hopefully you guys can hear me okay with doing all this pounding. But what I was saying is if I can make the surface level compared to the element, then I'll have a much more even cooking surface, so the crackling will happen more easily or more uniformly. Okay, and I'm just going to continue doing this until I can't physically do it anymore. I literally want lots and lots of little holes in this skin to help it crackle. It's a good workout on the arm, that's for sure. Considering I haven't been to the gym in I don't know how many years, it feels kind of good. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there because I don't want a completely flat pork belly. Okay, let's get it off the parchment paper and just see what we got here. Looks like a beautiful piece. We still got good height. I might have to put a little bit of foil under it just to even this part out. It's a little low in the middle. So when I put it into foil, I'm just going to put a little bit of foil under this section just to bring it level with the entire surface of the skin across the whole piece. So yeah, so my next job, of course, I want to make sure I haven't added any liquid in any way. My next task is to make a foil boat. I don't like typically using foil, but again, it's all about, you know, like less is more, and it's just pork belly seems to be so difficult to get so perfect in the air fryer that I don't want to overcook the meat itself, but I want to overcook the skin. And I should watch my words because I don't want to burn it, but I definitely want it well done and crispy. So I will make a foil boat, and what that's going to do is it's going to make sure the sides are contained. It's going to cook in its own juices, which will make it juicy. And then the skin will be exposed and get most of the heat and direct heat and become crispy. Sorry guys, I know I'm a little slow on my thinking today. I'm tired. I had a beach day yesterday. It was beautiful weather here. I decided to go down to the beach and just take a day off for a change. And I'm actually more tired today because I rested yesterday. But I think part of it might be because I'm a little sunburnt, a little windburnt. And but other than that, it was good. I posted a short on YouTube about what I had for lunch, and they were very accommodating at that beach club, which I love. I had a beautiful piece of sea bass with some shrimp on the side, all drizzled and cooked in butter. It was absolutely delicious. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this aside. I want foil, shiny side down. I can't remember why that matters, but I learned that years ago. If anybody knows, just please comment. Okay, and like I said, it's a little low in this section, so I will put a piece of foil under here. Doesn't look like it needs a lot. Let me try this. Oh, that's perfect. Okay. You probably can't tell too well, but it definitely brought up the middle, and it's a nice, pretty well even surface. Okay. So now the next thing, I could try a little bit more vinegar, but I think I'm good. But yeah, why not? Why not be sure? The other thing to do, like I'm only going to use salt. So it's important, if you do use any spices that have agreed with you on carnivore and you're going to put on this pork, I would make sure that there is no spice on the skin itself. We don't want anything interfering with how the skin is cooking. The other thing I wish I could get access to is rock salt here. I haven't been able to find any, but I have my trusty old Redmond's real salt. I'm going to try and throw quite a bit on top, just to allow, of course, it to help dry out the skin as it's cooking. I can scrape some of this off. This is going to be a two-part process. I'm going to put it in the air fryer first thing at 350 degrees, which is about, I think, 180 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to do it for 60 minutes. And after that initial 60 minutes, I'll pull it out. I'll scrape some of this salt off, and then we'll put it back in, and that's when we get the crusting of the skin happening. So we kind of want to just cover up to try to dry out as much as possible while the pork belly itself cooks. I can already feel in the salt that it's pulling the moisture out. It's crazy. I think I might add a little bit of, I've got Himalayan salt. It's a little rockier. Give me a sec. I'm going to throw some of this on and just make sure my hands are dry so they don't drip onto the dry skin. I almost wish maybe I should cut this bottle open and just get to the rock salts of Himalayan salt. But I'm going to work with what I have today. It is what it is. I will be actually coming back to Canada for a visit, family and friends. Can't wait for that. So I'll definitely pick up some rock salt and bring that back with me. Okay, so now we build the boat. So I just kind of fold it over to give it a little bit of strength. And you kind of want to try to get it so it's definitely higher, because you're going to have a lot of juice. So that's about perfect. It's about 1/4 of an inch higher than the side. And then on the edges, I'm going to pull this in. Actually, no, I'm going to fold this up first to whatever size I want. It's okay. Same with this side. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is you flip up one side, and then flip up the other and fold it over and try to pinch it on top so they stay together, just like that. So again, bring one side up, the other side up and over, and then just try to pinch the two together by folding them over each other. Okay, it's pretty good. So I'm just going to go and heat up the air fryer, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so just turned on the air fryer. We're going to put it on bake, and it's at 350, which is about 180 degrees C, and we're going to put that through there for 60 minutes, so 1 hour. Just let that start and warm up. And once that's warm, we'll throw this foil boat into the air fryer. Oh my gosh, I'm such a knob. So this was new from Costco. I hadn't opened it yet because I don't use it. I use Redmond's. And I didn't take this little piece off, so that's why none of the salt was looking like it was coming out. I was a little confused there for a while. But yeah, got it all fixed now, so now I can put some actual salt on. And it looks like a lot, but because it's a larger, coarser grain, it doesn't melt so it will stay on top and stay crystallized, and then I'll just scrape it off before we do part 2. Oops. Okay, that looks pretty good. Exciting times. Okay, so we're ready. That just took a few minutes. Open this baby up. Try to balance the cutting board and gently place this in there. I decided to do the full piece this time rather than cutting up, trying half, because I don't know, I have a good feeling that this is gonna work out today. So we'll close the lid on this baby and we'll be back in an hour. Okay, we're back again, and this has now been in for almost 60 minutes. Once it hits 0, we'll open up the lid and we'll see how this has progressed. I suspect we're going to have some crispy salt offerings on the top, and we do. It looks really good, actually. What a difference compared to doing it the other week. So all these salt pieces I'll take off. I'm just going to let it cool down for a little bit and then transport this foil boat carefully, because as you can see it is full of oil. So I'll transfer it carefully to the cutting board and then we'll go on to part 2. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like coming out of the air fryer. We have all these pieces of salt that have built up on top. They're a little hot, but I'll try my best to get them off without making too much of a mess. It's a good piece right here. I can see a little bit of fat coming up through, so obviously I punctured it too much with the hammer, so I'll know better next time. But I'm still going to try. I still have high hopes for this one. I don't know, I have a good feeling. Maybe it's a false hope, but I have a good feeling. The pan is still hot, so I have to be careful. Okay, so let me get some of this off. Just scrape it to the side. I want to actually spray a little bit more vinegar on the top. It's not going to affect the taste of the pork, apparently. You can already hear it's quite hard and crispy. Here it's a little less crispy. Here it's more crispy. But let's do the vinegar first. I'll try and get some of that off with a paper towel again. I'm actually going to let this cool a little bit so that I have less fat bubbling up through the skin when I put it in again, because that'll allow the skin to stay a little bit drier. So I'm actually just going to let this sit like this for a bit, and I'm going to see if I get any more fat buildup on the skin. Sometimes rushing things isn't always good. So today I will have patience. This is kind of when I wish I had an extra set of hands here. So I'm just going to take this out of the boat. You can see the foil. Oh, shoot. The foil piece is still there. Let it drip off a little, and that way I can clean up this pan for the next stage. Just let this sit on the cutting board for a bit. And I will do another vinegar spray and wash that off. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm going to do another spray of vinegar on the top to dry it out again. It's still quite hot. Been resting for about 5 minutes. So I think I'm going to move ahead. It really wasn't too bad, the amount of fat on the top. As I had mentioned, I cleaned out the base of the air fryer. Hopefully you can see that okay. And I'm gonna put a rack in the air fryer just so it's not right on the bottom. Get some heat underneath of it. I'm hoping it fits. Let's see. Okay, and it fits perfectly. Why do I ever doubt myself? I don't know. Just kidding. I make lots of mistakes, and it's just through trial and error you end up figuring out what works for you. And once you find the secret, it's bliss ever since that point forward. So I don't mind plain. Okay, so salted it up again because, again, I love salty anything, especially living in the tropics and sweating the amount that I do. So we've now dried the skin out with vinegar. We patted it dry. We've got salt on top now for flavoring. I'm going to throw it back in the air fryer again, but this time we're going to go up to 250 degrees C or 480 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's take this over to the air fryer. There we go. Turn this baby on again. I'm still going to keep it on bake. If I need to put it on roast or maybe broil at the end, I can always do that option. But they say to put it in for 20 to 30 minutes. So actually I'm going to put it to 30 minutes. I'm going to turn this up to 480. I don't even know if my machine goes that high. No, so maybe, let's see, roast. Does that go any higher? 425. How about broil? 450. 450. There we go. Oh, 500. No. Okay, so I'm going to go 475. I'm really torn here because this is probably just going to smoke up the house. So let me see. Does grill? No. Roast? 425 is the highest. How about air crisp? 450. Let's do that. Let's do air crisp for 20 minutes, but I'm going to keep an eye on this because I suspect some sections will go quickly. So let's hit start. Of course, it's going to go through its warm up again, and then it'll start counting down. Now, while that's warming up, actually, I just want to show you that I made a couple of foil pieces. And that's just going to be just in case some areas of the pork belly skin are crisping up quicker than others. Because I want to be able to cover them up so it prevents them from burning and allows the other parts of the skin to get crispy. So hopefully this will help as well this week. Okay, we're just coming up on 5 minutes that it's been at the air crisp at 350. I think that was the right decision because we don't seem to be smoking too much, which is great. It probably really helped too that it took the pan out and made sure there was no grease drippings or anything. So let's have a peek. Oh, ooh. So you can see this side's a little more crispier from here onward. So I'm going to get that foil and put a piece on without burning myself, hopefully. There's always a first for everything. Ooh, that is hot. Okay. Did I do it? Kinda? Yes. Okay, we'll keep that in there again. We'll check it in about maybe 3 minutes. Or if I get smoke, whichever one first. Okay, I'm just going to peek in again and see how we're doing. Oh, it's looking great. And how about the piece under here? That's doing well. So I can keep this on still. Just be so careful because it's so hot. And I am going to take another piece and just do it across here. Because it looks like that front piece is getting quite done quickly. Okay, let's try that. Keep it in for a few more minutes and I'll peek again. Okay guys, I don't want to ruin this so close to the end, so I'm just going to lift up and check. Oh, Okay, let's see. It looks pretty evenly done. Let me just do the knife test. Looks pretty good, sounds pretty good. We've got 8.5 minutes left. Maybe I'll just put it in for another minute and then I'm gonna stop. Okay, we're coming down to the last minute. Yeah, I'm gonna take this out now. I'm just gonna let it sit there for half a minute or so, get the cutting board ready and bring it over to the other camera. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's go over to the air fryer and bring our pan over. It's extremely hot, so I'm definitely wearing a glove. Now, oh yeah, that's really hot. Okay, so we'll put that there. Bring that onto the cutting board. Take this out of the way. Okay, so now we can get this bad boy off the hot rack and onto the cutting board. And in order to make this the juiciest pork belly bites, I'm going to cover it for 5 minutes on the cutting board. Oops. With foil to just try to absorb those juices. And we will be back in 5. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's uncover this beauty. And I'm just going to turn it over. Wow, look at that. Looks perfect. And we're going to make some cuts. Listen to that crisp. Gotta steal this piece. Still looks very moist, very juicy. Wow, beautiful. That sounds like it's got a good crunch. I'm actually cutting up about half of this, not quite, just to take over to my friend's house that we did the movie at the other night. I want to surprise them with the new and improved version of the pork belly. So I'm just going to put that in a bowl. Wow. Maybe I'll cut them into smaller bite-sized pieces. So when they see it, I know they're going to want to try a piece, and if it's too big, they won't want to jump in. Looks absolutely delicious. Let's try a piece. It's still kind of hot, so I'm trying to delay a little bit. But compared to just like the consistency of last week when I tried to cut into the skin, there's a big difference this week. Wow, what a difference. So I'd have to say, this is a definite win. And this is how I will be doing them from now on. I actually have to go back in the video and just put together a quick little recipe card or something, and then I'll add that to the end of this video. Because even myself, I can't remember right now how many minutes I put this in for. And I will record it officially at the end. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful, and I'm really glad that I've finally figured out how to do it in the air fryer. I just, in the heat in Mexico, I really don't like turning on the oven, And if I can do things in a smaller appliance and conserve a little bit of the heat, I always try to do that. So I'd say this is definitely a success. Turned out beautifully crispy, and I will definitely do this way again. So have a wonderful week, guys. Love you so much, and thank you again for all those who engage. It really warms my heart. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me to grow the channel and reach more people. And my hope is that I reach more people, especially with adrenal insufficiency or fatigue, because sometimes it's hard to keep hope when you're suffering so much, and there is hope. So many things to help. So have a wonderful week, guys. Sending you bacon scented blessings, and love you guys. Bye for now.
Steak on my plate, it's a dream come true. Butter melting down like morning dew.